This is a Central ARWX Storm Center weather update.
Well, good morning, Central Arkansas, and a very happy Saturday to everybody out there. Made it through another week here in Central Arkansas, and guess what? We have another chance of rain and storms, but also another chance of heat before we get there. So, unfortunately, we got to get through the bad to get to the good. But the thing is about rainfall right now is that unfortunately it's coming with that lightning risk, so it really is doing more harm than good, because we have a lot of rain falling in a short period of time, and we're also dealing with that threat of wildfires as well. I'll go over that more in depth here in just a little bit. But overall this morning, starting off with a very quiet morning here around Central Arkansas, clear skies, light winds. But let's go ahead and take a look at what kind of we could expect later today. So I kind of want to give you a brief update and then kind of go over more in depth on what I'm thinking, because I know everybody's wanting to know kind of what to expect as we go into the afternoon this evening. So as you can see, through much of the day, it's going to be a quiet, hot, very, very humid day. But if you notice, around 2 p.m., we start to get storms develop just north of our area. And then between really 3 and 6 p.m., we see a major uptick in the coverage and intensity of these storms. Now, that being said, the closer we get to evening, the more storms develop, and the more storm. Now, this is really the first decent chance of widespread rainfall we've seen in quite some time. Do I believe it's going to be this widespread? Not exactly, because it is that hard to bring this much into a drought, but it is there. So, that being said, we still going to keep our eye on it. 6 to 6 p.m., then we get to 7, 8 o'clock. More rainfall and storms, especially across more of Central Arkansas, especially areas that have seen rain over the past couple of days and some that have not. Then as we get later into the evening, storms lose their intensity as it gets dark, and we get our loss of daytime heating. And then, of course, by midnight, it's out of Central Arkansas, and we are said and done. So, like I said, that being said, we will definitely be having to watch for that possibility. But as of right now, the greatest threat, I do believe, for widespread rainfall is going to be, and you'll see why here in just a few minutes, as you saw, is going to be up here in this portion of Central Arkansas. So that being said, the data has tended to overdo a lot of things lately, so I'm not taking this verbatim, but I do believe we will also deal with that risk of severe weather this evening. Would not be shocked to see a level 1 risk issued by this afternoon for those storms. So again, unfortunately, we get to deal with the bad and the good at the same time. But overall, though, around Central Arkansas this morning, we are coming in here in the low to mid 70s, area-wise sunshine this morning to start your Saturday morning, whatever you may have going on. But changes to the forecast are coming. As I said, another hot day today, strong storms as well possible later this afternoon. And well, is the heat wave gonna end? I know we've been talking about it. I've been looking. There's been brief signs of it. Monday looks to be like another really good chance that we could at least temporarily have a break from the heat. But overall, the pattern continues to favor that heat and humidity going into the long term. Now, that being said, today's going to be a hot one. 100 degrees area-wide. We will hit the 100s before we get the storm. This front will continue to sag into the region, and it will eventually stall out over the region, which is why you're going to have that chance for showers and storms throughout much of the afternoon and into the evening hours. And as I mentioned, a few of those could be strong. But before we get to the severe outlook, this is what to expect this afternoon for the heat. There's a reason why we don't have a heat advisory or a excessive heat warning in effect, is because your heat risk is on the lower end right now. I think we still can see a heat advisory. The heat risk is there today. It's going to be 102. So regardless whether it's level 3, level 4, whatever, the risk to your body is there for dehydration as well as heat stroke and heat exhaustion, as it has been. So just be sure to take it easy if you are outside. But that being said, severe weather outlook, area-wide, level 1 risk, isolated strong to severe storms continue to be possible, mainly after 1 p.m. This is going to be in that 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. window, as it normally is. And like I said, the main threat continues to be damaging winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour winds. Would not be shocked if we see 70 to 75. Like I said, level 1 risk is not, or a level 2 risk is not out of the realm of possibilities here, because of the fact that if we do get a little bit more widespread coverage, then, or we get a thunderstorm complex or two, then that wind damage threat could increase a little bit. So be on the outlook for changes throughout the day to day. Large hail is also a threat, especially initially in storms as they go up. There will be cold air aloft, not at the surface, but aloft. So that will lead to hail production, typically 1 inch in diameter, nothing significant. But we will have to watch for those stronger bursts as well that could produce upwards of 2 inches in diameter. Again, not expecting it, but isolated instances are there for sure as we go into the day-to-day. Now, as I mentioned as well, throughout the next 7 days, it's going to be hot. We have our days where it's going to be more hotter than others. Monday looks to be a really good chance of rainfall, cloud cover, lower temperatures, highs in the low 90s. We could be dealing with another risk of severe weather here as well. That could be a little bit more on the intense side, because that does look to be the strongest of our 3 fronts, as I mentioned last week, for us here in Central Arkansas. Then we turn the heat up once again heading into next week. Nothing significant, but pretty much around what we've been seeing over the last several days. And then looking ahead beyond the 7 day, more 100s in the forecast until we break this drought or get a widespread good soaking rainfall. These 100s are going to be the case. Looking towards Labor Day, I see some signs that we could see it, but right now, pulling back the rain a little bit, because even though data is showing that cool down, data is not really handling the drought scenario very, very well and going more on climatology. And right now, we are so far against climatology, thanks to the fact we are in a major drought right now. But as always, I'll be here this afternoon and this evening. Keep an eye on things, and I'll keep you updated right here on your source for all things Central Arkansas weather.
From the Central ARWX Storm Center, this has been a weather update.